Ben, the recording is in progress.
Good to know. I'll put my pants back on. No, I won't.
No need. No need. Although people watching this video won't see us in the same aspect ratio that we see ourselves. So that joke just
Do you
died.
see? Do you see? Am I above you when you're
Yes.
next to me in mine? We're
See
side by
what I
side.
do. What I do, and I put you. I squished the screen in so the frames switch, and I put you as close to the camera as possible. So when I look you in the eyes, I'm kind of looking directly at you through the camera.
Yeah, right. So now I've done it now. So am I looking at you? Does it look like I'm looking directly
No,
at the camera?
it looks like you're looking off to the side. What about me? If I'm talking like this, how does
Why
that
does it
look?
look like I'm looking off to? Oh, hang on. How about now?
Yeah, there we go. Oh, mate, so
I was like,
romantic.
why am I looking off to the side? Because obviously I had the window on because I took it from
Yeah.
full screen just to one side.
Ah.
I'm a master of technology.
Yeah, well, I mean, the entire time that we were doing that, I'm just thinking to myself, do I leave this in? Think I
Cut it
might.
at all.
Nah, I think I'll leave it in just to show what, spaz as we are. It's a lucky dip video, Ben, and you haven't got yourself a lucky dip receptacle this week because you're on
I
the
bought
other side of Eastlink.
it, and I bought all my lucky dips and dumped them into your pot.
Yes, so before when you're sort of scratching your head going, I haven't got any lucky dips, it's because you dumped them all in here.
I put them all in there.
All
I
right.
had them
Well,
in a, what did I have them in a KFC bucket? Is that yeah,
in
that's what I had. That's what I used to have them in.
in honor of you, I hope I pull out a fat one because they were all yours. Yours are the fat ones. Haven't. Um, I have pulled out. Oh, you like this one? 12 Angry Men.
Oh, with
Take your
Henry
pick.
Fonda
Take your pick. Either one.
or George C. Scott.
That
Was
was
he
a,
Henry
that
Fonda?
was William Friedkin, wasn't it? The George C. Scott one.
I think so. Yeah.
Odd movie for him to remake.
Oh yeah. He doesn't. No, they're not. They're not remakes.
Adaptations.
They're the yeah. That's what they're the William Friedkin production of. He refers. That's what he said about Sorceress. It's not a remake of Wages of Fear. The William
That's
Friedkin production of Wages of Fear called Sorcerer. There you go.
Sorcerer. Anyway, there we go. So, what do you think of 12 Angry Men? I'll go with the original because I think the original is just a bit of a masterpiece. It's
Yeah, I think yeah. Look, I've got to say I'm not a big fan of the remake because it feels like I don't know. In my head, if I'm thinking of the right one, it feels like it's shot for TV.
it is. It was made for
Yeah,
television.
and
Yeah.
it feels it's like you're watching the movie through the security camera at a 7-Eleven, whereas the
Yeah.
original one feels a lot more cinematic, which is odd considering that it literally is the definition of low budget filmmaking because it is just 12 guys in one room. It's a one location.
I mean, if there's one movie that would lend itself to one of those live TV broadcasts, it's definitely that one.
Yeah.
But the original, not only like is it cinematically glorious, it's just compelling. Like there's so much more drama and tension in the original than the remake. Um,
What I love about it though is that you can literally feel how frustrated all the other juries are getting with this guy who just won't let them go home.
yeah,
And it only works when you have to return a majority.
yeah. Do you know there's a similar like
Not a majority, a consensus.
yeah consensus. There's a similar movie that I always when I watch 12 Angry Men, I double feature it with the movie called Inherit the Wind. Have you seen that one?
That's a what's his name, isn't it?
Is
Citizen
this
Kane guy.
Orson Welles?
Is it Orson Welles? Is that
No,
him?
no, no, no. No. I know the one
Is
you're
that
thinking
is
of.
that High Wind in Jamaica that I'm
No,
thinking of?
no, you're thinking of the Lost movie that he made, like they made a documentary about.
No, yeah. There's that one as well, yeah. But he
No,
also,
but
yeah.
no,
It's
this is the one that's all about the teacher in a Bible Belt town that's teaching creation, teaching
evolution.
evolution, and all the creationists want to lynch him, and it's a big court case, and it's fantastic. So I
Yeah, I
put
haven't
those
seen
together
it.
because they're both courtroom dramas, both black and white, have a very similar feel to them, and both compelling. Like the arguments presented, whichever side of the case, are
Hmm.
compelling. They're compelling.
What's the other one? Is it Witness for the Prosecution? Is that the one with uh I want to think. I want to say it's James Stewart. No, is it James Stewart? He's the lawyer. It's or is it who's the guy from Jamaican Inn?
Yeah, I don't remember.
And I think it's
I reckon it's high time we had another wave of courtroom drama movies, man. Like we haven't had that pulse of cinema
no,
for a while.
it's fucking hell. It's not even here. I'm thinking of a different film. It's Tyrone Power, but it is. I don't know. Charles Lawton is in it, but Charles Lawton is the. Then Charles Lawton is the lawyer. Marlene Dietrich is the woman who, and I think the guy's. It's a Billy Wilder movie.
Okay, cool.
I think the guy is accused of murder, Tyrone Power, and Marlene Dietrich is his alibi. But I think Charles Lawton kind of figures out that she's lying, and she knows that he's guilty, but she loves him and is willing to like ruin her life and to try and get him off.
Yeah, right.
So I remember, and Elsa Lancaster's in it too. I watched it on like it's a midday movie once, one of Ivan's midday movies.
Awesome. I have just pulled out. Okay. Ghostbusters Answer the Call.
What's that one?
That's the all-female one.
Yeah, right.
The Paul
I didn't know
Feig
that.
one.
I didn't know that it had a subtitle.
It got itself a subtitle once the backlash hit. Right. So it was released just as Ghostbusters, and then when the fans got pretty angry, not that it was a shit movie, they got angry that it tried to reboot everything and not actually continue the franchise. That's when people got
a couple of the original Ghostbusters in it.
Yeah, but not as Ghostbusters.
But not as Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And it was a farcical movie. But so they put this for the DVD release, they put this sort of byline, like this subtitle on it, Answer the Call. Like that separates it.
I would have thought they would have had to do it almost. I suppose not for like the retailers to differentiate it from the original, which is still very much available.
But they're still making like remakes or reboots with the same titles. I mean, Scream came out, and like that's part of the original franchise, and it's the same name as the first one.
That's my favorite is the Fast and the Furious franchise, where it's Fast and Furious, the Fast and Furious, the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
just
Furious 9, Furious. You know,
like I mean, at least that has a name. Like at least that Furious 9, Furious 10. At least that's easy to differentiate. Not some, not a was it a pronoun or whatever that?
I'm a big fan of having a franchise that's just part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, and then you can have a subtitle underneath or behind the number. Yeah, I hate it when they chop and change. I hate it when they chop and change. So, I mean, did you think much of Ghostbusters Answer the Call?
No, not really. I mean, look, I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was particularly good. The problem is I'm not an impressionable 9-year-old watching that movie for the first time. So it's never going to be to me what Ghostbusters was.
Yep.
And nor should it really.
But
I'm not the right.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie's not made for me. The movie's made for kids who don't want to watch old movies and have never heard of Ghostbusters and are just like, I want to watch this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. And a lot of people have said, and I believe that, it was probably an important film to a lot of younger girls, because it was an all-female cast. But I don't think the comedy was very good in it. I think the tone of it was off. But what pissed me off, and it's the only thing that actually pissed me off, is the fact that they did try to make it a new thing. Like, this could have easily been the same movie had they acknowledged that it's just maybe a franchise of the Ghostbusters Incorporated. Acknowledge the universe, and it would have been a lot more tangible, because they don't have to have the same humor. Like, it's just a different set of characters. And then you could have
would have ruined the Afterlife, because one of my favorite things that they did in Afterlife was make out how everyone had basically forgot what the Ghostbusters did, or like had just, oh no, ghosts aren't real now.
Yeah,
that was just a weird aberration, and
mind you,
they've gone bankrupt. And
I agree, but I reckon, like, say that Answer the Call had have stayed within the franchise universe, maybe then Afterlife would have been a different movie.
That's right. Yeah,
but and they just announced that they are going for another one. So there is definitely they kind of suggested that in the post-credit sequences, but they've confirmed that they're doing a new one. But
is it going to be
Jason Reitman?
Jason Reitman?
Yeah, he's picking up where his dad sort of, he's picking up what his dad dropped.
Yeah.
But maybe they could have his dad as a ghost in this one. Give him the Ramus treatment.
Like, yeah, do the Grand Moff Tarkin in the new Star Wars movies.
Did you know that the Harold Ramis character in Afterlife was Bob Gunton?
Yeah, Bob Gunton. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I mentioned it during our thinger. Yeah, which is
There you
great.
go. Yeah,
It's-
it is great.
What I love though is that I remember Harold Ramis before he passed. Yeah, Bob Gunton. Bob Gunton is a lot slimmer than Harold Ramis was towards the end. Like he really, it was a really favorable.
Of course it was.
Oh,
that's funny. But it's funny. It's funny you mentioned how like Afterlife sort of presents the Ghostbusters as if everyone's forgotten who they were, right?
Yeah.
But they kind of did that in part 2 as well. When they're introduced in part 2, like they were has-beens and no one really remembered them, and they're doing children's parties.
Yeah, that's right. I guess because once the ghost stopped appearing, it's so easy for people to forget.
Yeah,
I guess.
Although I think if we had like a massive city under siege by ghosts, we'd remember that 3 or 4 years later.
Yeah, but I look at it as if it's the way that they, especially in America, it's the way, and here too, I guess. It's the way they treat soldiers after war. Like, yeah, you're super grateful to them while the war's going on, and once it's finished, we don't need you anymore. Fuck off.
That's right. Next one. Now, doing this by Zoom, we're getting a lot more out of a conversation than we would at the desk. It's because we're not on a time limit. We're not racing the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one's one of yours, I think. All right, what do we got?
Can you even read it?
No, it's one of mine. Holy Man.
With Eddie Murphy?
With Eddie Murphy. I reckon that's a pretty underrated movie.
Look, I don't know if I even watched it. I remember thinking it, like, because didn't it come out around the same time as the Guru and there's
sort of
Love.
Yeah.
There's one with Mike Myers and another one with
where you get these sort of self-help sort of, experts and gurus. Yep.
And I liked one of them. I can't remember Holy Man. I remember really liking Dave, but that seemed to be the only Eddie Murphy movie around that time that I watched.
Yeah, Holy Man didn't really get a lot of traction when it came out, but I do remember watching it thinking, what people are missing this? Like, I feel like they're missing the point of this one because it's comedy, but it's also serious and it dives into some sort of heavy themes. And I reckon, I haven't watched it for a long time. I reckon if I went back to it, I'd enjoy it as much now as I did then. I think it's probably deserving of a reevaluation.
I mean, look, that is the shame. One of the losses of video stores is that you could put it on in the shop and then people would come in and go, oh, what's this? This actually looks pretty good.
Movies that they would have not considered. They maybe had it in their hand the week before and looked at the cover and put it back, but you hit them with some scenes for sure. All right. Well, and doesn't Holy Man have the scene? I think it was in the trailer with Morgan Fairchild, and he puts the electrodes on her head.
Yes. Yeah. She gets another facelift.
Cool, man. All right, let's make this our last one.
All right.
Apocalypto.
Oh, the Mel Gibson movie.
Yeah, I reckon that's a banger. I think that's his best film as a director.
I'm trying to think. I mean,
he's done Braveheart, and he's done Braveheart. He's done Apocalypto, Passion of the Christ, he didn't direct. That was Jodie Foster.
Oh, right.
Man with Two Faces. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, right.
And Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, right. Well, then, look, I mean, like Braveheart is the only kind of competition as far as I'm concerned in that list. Like
I struggle with Braveheart.
No, was it Hacksaw Ridge or what's the one that he was in?
No, it was Hacksaw Ridge. He was in when we were heroes or something like that. It was when we were warriors.
That was pretty good. I remember being.
Wasn't bad. Who directed that?
Whereas Hacksaw Ridge was a fucking mess.
Yeah, I remember when I saw Hacksaw Ridge, I came out of it thinking, this was a really good film. I had a few issues with the Australian landscapes, posing as America, like,
as Greece.
Yeah, they didn't hide it, right? Not even Middle America, like wasn't like the
during the training stuff, it was all
but
it all looked like the Sapphires. It all looked like it was soundstage.
Yeah, and I remember I did like Vince Vaughn. I don't like Andrew Garfield in general, so I didn't like him. But I came out of it going, that was pretty enjoyable. I'm looking forward to watching this again. Mel Gibson, you've done it again. And then then I watched it on DVD when it got released, and fuck me dead. Like, what was I thinking when I first saw it? Like, that is a terrible movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think I watched it again, funny enough. Like, it's one of those movies that you get on YouTube and TikTok and stuff. Like, they play clips from it. Like, someone's got one of those channels, and for some reason, obviously, I must watch them because they keep ending up in my feed. And like, so I kind of like, just by watching the clips, I was like, oh, God, I'll give this a watch again. And I was like, yep, I was right. This movie sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
but
those bits are fun, but
having said that, I could probably watch it again. Like, I don't think it's a difficult watch. It's just not it's not a good movie. I remember the sequence, like, that's it's the fucking main part of the movie when he's pulling all the bodies up and he's like, "Please, Lord, let me get one more." And like,
yeah,
but then he gets one more and he goes, "Please, Lord, let me get one more." It just goes on and on. It's like,
talk
we get
about
it.
fucking greedy.
Yeah.
Talk about
Ah,
greedy.
but hey,
But I
he
will
saved it.
say, like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of right with you in dislike of Andrew Garfield, especially seeing him on talk shows and stuff. But Tick Tick Boom and Under a Silver Lake are two phenomenal films that I really rate.
It's
Which
like
it annoys me that he's the star of them and
it's
so
like
good.
all actors that we dislike, or at least me. There's plenty I dislike. They've been in some amazing movies. I have an issue with Sigourney Weaver. Yet I love Ghostbusters and I love Alien, and like, just because I don't like her doesn't mean I can't like the movie she's in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's in a great couple of episodes of I Call My Agent.
excellent,
It's hilarious.
excellent. All right, that'll do, I reckon. Wrap it up.
Let's do it.